Let me start with your journey, a very illustrious journey that has seen smashing of several mountaineering records, as I said earlier. Please walk us through the key milestones of your journey as a mountaineer, as an ace mountaineer.
So far I submitted 35 times 1,000 meter peak, and I make the Guinness World Record, different Guinness World Record, 5 different Guinness World Record, and some of the broken record, and some of records doesn't broken. Different type of records supposed to be K2 winter is that no one break that record, but that youngest one already broke. Young climbers, and yeah, that's my climbing journey, and then I'm keep climbing.
You were talking about this scaling of K2, the world's second highest mountain, isn't it? That was in the year, which year was that?
I was in K2 expedition. I joined it 10 different times, and I submitted 6 times until now. And that K2 winters is 2021, and that was the first ascent of K2 winter. And
January 2021, that was?
Yeah, January.
Like it was this winter ascent, the winter expedition, the successful winter expedition of K2 in January 2021.
Yes.
That was the first by a group, isn't it?
Yeah, that we researched, and then we found it lots of, I think, more than 40 different teams attempted, but nobody reached above 7,000 meter.
Yeah.
And then 2021, we are 10 Nepalese climbers, and then in our team we are 6 people, and then another team there are 3 people, and another team 1 people. We collaborate each other, and then we make a joint force. That most of the time that it's challenging part, it's K2 self, it's more technical mountain compared to other peak. And another thing is that winter time, that temperature goes to -65, and that's its biggest challenge for the K2 winter. And then also mountain self, it's really vertical, and then the wind chill, and then cold temperature, and then less manpower. That's why people are not reaching the summit. Before us, it's more than 40 different teams attempting, but nobody submitted. That we found it in research, and then we are planning to collaborate and then make the joint force and as a teamwork. And that we are 10 different people. Everybody likes to make a record sometime, and then everybody want to be the first person to attempt K2, maybe first person to summit up K2 winter. But the thing is, it's 40 different team already failed.
Yeah.
That's why we are planning to collaborate. And then one of my climbing partners, and he planned to 10 minutes before to summit, stop there, and then waiting everybody together there, and then sing a song, that national anthem, and then taking the national flag, and then climbing together. And that makes us more stronger because of that, about the nation and the national anthem, flag, and 10 people together. And that multiplies to that manpower, and then also that power of joint force. That's why we succeed in 2016. And if that time, if we plan individually, maybe we cannot summit.
What a proud moment it must have been Like it was an all Nepali team atop the world's second highest mountain, smashing a record. A first climb by a group, wasn't it? And I just read, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, that there were some glitches, you were sort of equipment and all that, and so just you collaborated and just managed to just make it atop. Is it true? Can you just elaborate on that?
That normally in winter, that is in K2, is a biggest problem. It's a high wind, and then it's very dry, and that temperature goes to the -65, and also that lots of problem happening in there as well, and it's very difficult to drop oxygen at Camp 2, Camp 3, and really difficult to prepare for the logistic for the summit attempting. And then in our team, we dropped oxygen and the food, tent, including sleeping bag and lots of things in Camp 2, at Camp 2. And then some of the day, I don't know exactly date, but it came a big wind, and then that wind blew all our equipment, nothing left there. And then still we prepare, and then we drop again, and then finally we discuss other team to other team. At the beginning, that in K2 winter is internationally around more than 65 different climbers are there, but everybody like to climbing K2 winter. So who gonna be the first summiter, which country is representing for the first winter summit, and there's lots of team. And then we have 3 team, we collaborate together, and then finally we attempting, and luckily nobody injured, and even that temperature, and then luckily we summiting, and then we safe. Not only summiting, we are all the 10 people summit together, and then we safely back to the base camp.
It must have, it's like a case of human endeavor, and the mountain gods must have been very happy with you, the deities out there. How did it feel? How do you describe that feeling now, looking back?
That time, also as a climber and as a young Nepalese climber, and then people are all over the world. People are thinking about the Nepalese Sherpa climber is really strong. That is the legacy of the Nepalese climber Sherpa. But if we look the history, no one summiting the winter climbing before our team, and that is the very important to prove to summit K2 winter. Most of the other 8,000 meter peak, most of the 8,000 meter peak is summiting from the different climbers, different countries climbers. And then before 2021, in the winter ascent, of any 8,000, no one summit. That's the very important to summit for us. And then luckily, we summited 10 Nepalese people were together, and then also luckily mountain got to give the chance for us, and also main important thing is that time all over the world, that time is COVID happening still all over the world, and then that is the situation that time. People need to help, and other people to other people, other countries to other countries. That is the situation that time, 2021, is still happening, COVID all over the world. But we set the example of the collaboration, helping each other, and then we succeed, and the power of teamwork, and we succeed. And another thing is very important in the mountaineering history. People are competing each other. Most of the time, people want to make the record. But that is the project is work together, and then we set the example, and that if you look at the history, and then that Tenzing Norgay and summiting together, supposed to be Everest, 1953, they are summiting together. That is the history. After that, we are 10 Nepalese people summiting together in K2 winter. 10 Nepalese. We are all the first person to summit K2 winter. We are 10 peoples. That is it's completely compared to other mountaineer, and this is the example of working together, and that is the very important.
Yeah, like that was one of the proud moments in your journey as a mountaineer, as an ace mountaineer. You climbed K2 5 times, right?
Now already 6 times.
You have already made it through through 6 times.
Yeah.
With oxygen. Right?
Yeah, with oxygen.
With
yes.
oxygen. That is one of those proud moments. Please walk us through other milestones in your career thus far. Apparently, you have at 35, you have many more mountains to climb, many more records to smash, I think. So, but as of now, please walk us through other proud moments in your career. Other records, let's talk about them.
I have 5 different Guinness World Record, but most of the record, that 5 Guinness World Record, all records are connected with the K2. Okay. And also very interesting, when I started age of 19, and then that is the 2010, I summited Everest. My first expedition, I started from Everest. I summited Everest.
Which year?
2010.
10. Okay.
And I summited Everest, and after that, I submitted, I joined the expedition, Amandapuram expedition. I submitted, and then Choyu next year, and then submitted, Everest submitted. And 2013, first time I joined the expedition in K2, but I didn't make it summit. That is my first mountain to returning without summit. And that's why I'm thinking about the K2 is the that's why
that was in 2013.
At
yes. That time the mountain gods were not happy.
Then
you endeavored, but the gods.
Yeah, and then after that, most of the climber one summit the K2 once, and then those climber, most of the people never want to back again K2, but I don't know why. I like one of my favorite mountain to climb in K2 because of technically, and then that mountain is completely mixed climbing. Technically, and the risk factor wise, is lots of different kind of risks in the mountain. It's supposed to be physically challenging ourselves, and then also technically rockfall, icefall, snowfall, avalanche risks, ice breaking risks, and weather challenges, and all the risks is in K2. But the good thing is its mountain self is really vertical. If you really fit, then really fast with gaining the altitude. I like that kind of mountain. That's why I'm already I joined it 11 expedition. I'm coming this summer again. And I'm planning to breaking 1 mile record again.
At K2?
Yes.
Okay, your favorite mountain?
Yes.
Okay. We are talking about this record. You climbed all 14 8,000ers, right? At the age of 30.
Yes.
It was a record. Until last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
So, what did you see? That is, you are talking about, you can always talk about, if there is anything left, you can just continue with your record smashing journey. But you talked about one important thing. There is this race for supremacy in the mountains. Like people just literally fighting against each other to just scale those peaks, smash records, earn medals for them. But are we taking good care of the mountains?
That is
in this process?
that is the very important thing. We are climbers need to be not only climbing. We need to be the responsible climbers, and we need to take care for the beginner climbers and each other is climber to climber, also mountain and nature especially, and that's why we need to think about it. And not only climbing, I did beside my climbing journey, I joined lots of cleaning campaign project I did, and beside that, not only climbing, I since 2011, when I see the people struggling in the mountain, and most of the time I'm joining the rescue team. Until now, I'm joining. I try to saving life in more than 100 people, and then even also I did around I think more than 10 different dead body recovery from the mountain, and also rescue in different places. And supposed to be that in the 14 peak when I shoot the 14 peak movie, and climbing at the same time, climbing the mountain, and at the same time we are helping to rescue even Annapurna in Kanchenjunga. That is the including in that footage in 14 peak movie, that story. And also 2013, that time I'm still young, age of 23, and I submitted Everest, and then back to base camp, and then somebody struggling in Dhaulagiri because of the whiteout. That whiteout means zero visibility, we cannot see anything, and then 17-18 people lost in Dhaulagiri. And that time I think 4 people dead, and then other climbers. We fly from Everest base camp to Kathmandu, Pokhara, and then we fly to Dhaulagiri base camp, and me and some of the rescue team and a helicopter rescue team, and we work together. We rescue between 2 days is 13 people. Even I did that time, I did the long line, flying from 6,000 meters, I think 5,000 meters to 7,400 meters. Because of that is the scenario. If I climbing, it takes time to reaching that high point, and then helping the injured person. No enough time, and then that was the very first time. And captain say to me, Migma, you want to hanging on the helicopter. It's a long cable line, and then I hanging in, and then he dropped me the 7,400 meters. I climbed a whole night, and I got the people, and then whole night I dragging down, and then next day, and back to 10, and the next day back to Kathmandu in hospital, and we saving the life. Even in Everest, also 2016, and the very first time I organized the rescue team. We also even that time we make the TV show. TV show name is Everest Year. Amazon Prime, I think. It's 6 different episodes. We make the episode and about the rescue, and that night we are following the climbers, and then that was the 2016. I arrived in Everest Camp 4, 7,950 meters, and plan was following the climbers, and if something happened, and then trying to help, and if not, everything goes good smoothly, then my plan was that night I'm planning to make the Guinness World Record. The same day, summiting Everest and back to Camp 4, and then climbing Lhotse and making Guinness World Record that time. But evening time, certainly around 5 o'clock, some of the Nepalese friend and request to me, and one Indian husband and wife summiting Everest together, and then physically husband is quite strong, and then he's coming down, keep coming down, and he didn't knew that his wife is stuck in close to summit, and then he arrived Camp 4, and then her and her guide stuck over there, and then they cannot come down by self. And then that time I organized a rescue, and then one of my climbing friend and then me, and we arranged oxygen, and then we speed climbing with oxygen, and then we met her around 9 o'clock in night time, and then we give oxygen. She is almost dead that time because of that very less oxygen, and we prepare oxygen and we give oxygen, and then we rescue whole night, and we arrived at 7,400 meters, that is Camp 4, and around 4 o'clock morning time. And then next day we rescue continue, and then we collect the manpower, and then we rescue continue to Camp 3, and then next morning we rescue to the Camp 2, and then we arrange the helicopter and then fly back to the Kathmandu. But she's alive, but she cut it all the fingers, and even most of the part is frostbite, and she realized that is now she has the second life. But that is my proud moment. And last few months, I think 6 months before, I met in Kathmandu airport, and she is talking with me, and then Migma, did you remember? And I already forget, but and when she's showing me the fingers, this is me. And compared to I'm not, before I mentioned already that the responsible climbers, and definitely I like to make the different record. Besides that, I'm very sincere, and we need to think about saving life and then helping each other. His record is always secondary, and most of the record is breakable, and in the future is young generation is always, I think, good climbers, and they are break our record, but we need to think about the nature and responsible climbers.
Yeah, definitely. It's also about saving lives. It's about working together against all odds. There is this saying, like, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And 8 of these 14 8,000ers are in Nepal, right? Okay. So you just during your expeditions, you just had a first-hand experience of that climate change and global warming and all that. So how did it feel, and how does it feel now, this massive impact of climate change on the Himalayas, those peaks, those majestic peaks bearing rocks, and this fresh water source for billions of people downstream just vanishing? How does it feel?
That is the very difficult moment actually. Even we seen the lots of differences, and not only we seen, also we even not only mountain, even in Kathmandu, that people are staying around Kathmandu. Last summer is heavy raining, and that makes most of the Nepal different part that are lots of landslide, and even in last summer, and then in above Thame Valley there is a glacier lake bursting, and then whole Khumbu Valley that makes the problem, and even many different places. Even I think last 2 years before, and then range of Sindhu Palchok area is heavy raining, and then make a big problem. It's not only problem in mountain, even that climate change makes everywhere is big problem, not only mountain. And we've seen in mountain that lots of changes, and that glacier lake are bursting, and then sometimes the glacier lakes are bursting and moving another place to another place, and it's huge changing. And then that sometime even we are seeing 2 years before, I think, snowing Chandragiri Hill. And people are said 30-40 years later we've seen the snow. And 2019 I was in Pokhara, and then I seen very happy that rainfall, and that it's uncontrolled level, that it's big raining, landslide, and we've seen lots of things. And in mountain range we've seen that last I think 2 months before, we've seen the picture of Machaputre. We've seen is black rock most of the part, and it's lots of changes. And even sometimes it's even snowing, big snowing, but that ice is not reforming again. That melting too fast, and we've seen, and even that proper glacier are going, and then that changing to glacier, and then that every year going to glacier is that melting too fast. Snow is compared to that. I read about the research that in the Hindu Kush region, even that Hindu Kush region, and that the glacier compared to is a long time back is twice faster.
Yeah, they are retreating, isn't it? And these glacial lake outburst floods occurring, like putting a large population downstream at grave risks.
Yeah, definitely. Their researchers are saying 2 billion people are affected by the glacier.
Yeah.
That if that glacier completely melting, and then it's that 2 billion people are affected.
Definitely. So there is this climate change, and we have a very nominal carbon footprint, isn't it? We are not an industrialized country. Despite this minimal carbon footprint, we have been paying a heavy price for the sins that we didn't commit, by and large. So what is your message to the world, to the outside world, to those big emitters, as a global ambassador of sorts, as an ace mountaineer who has seen firsthand the massive impact of climate change and global warming?
As a mountaineer, as a work in the mountain, and that climate change make really difficult for us climbers. Definitely, it's unpredictable weather, and sometimes heavy snow, sometimes that climate change warming, that warm temperature make to unstable snow condition and unstable ice. That those are make difficulty for us, and that is every day we are facing, and more climbing the mountain compared to a long time back. It's more challenging, more difficult, and even very difficult to predict that ice condition, and anytime anything can happen. Even that very difficult to predict those difficulty we are facing right now. But still, that global climate forum, they are saying, even I seen that most of the document, and people are saying, even gender wise, that climate change impact the male or female or caste, that caste or that caste is completely wrong, in my opinion. What kind of people are working, which supposed to be, I'm the mountaineer. Definitely doesn't matter any caste, doesn't matter any gender, but definitely that mountaineers who work in the nature, those people are affected.
Mhm. It's like the mountains, those peaks are a source of fresh water. As we talked earlier, billions of people depend on those mountains, the water that comes from those mountains. Uh, so it will have a massive impact downstream if this rate of glacial retreat, thinning of the snow continues. What measures do you think the government of Nepal and the world community needs to take to just make sure that the mountains remain and the future generations get to see those snow-clad peaks, that they continue to be a source of fresh water for billions of people? Because we need water for irrigation, water for drinking, water for navigation, water for power generation. So what measures do you suggest?
Definitely, in my opinion, we need to minimize the carbon.
Mm-hmm. The footprint,
Yeah, carbon
the emission
footprint.
needs
Yeah.
to be just
Yeah.
cut down massively. And the major onus is on the industrialized world, isn't it? Because they are the top emitters.
Yeah, definitely we need to minimize the carbon footprint, and then also not only one side, all over the world, people need to be work together, and then
We are not playing a blame
yeah,
game here.
yeah, we need to that some people are that, in my opinion, now time to everybody need to be the responsible, even some, and need to be work together, then only maybe we'll minimize.
So there is this thing, you are also in some way like associated with Nepal Premier League. I read that the stone that features in the Nepal Premier League trophy, your team brought it. You brought it from Kalapatha, is
Yeah.
it? That was in which year?
Yeah, that is not only rock, that is the symbol of our mountain,
Yeah.
and that is the big message for global community. We have the tourism, that mountaineering, trekking, and that opportunity, and also we have those kind of opportunity, and also other thing, and that rock from the Kalapathar, their message for the climate change. Now, and that, and also that another thing is a promotion, is big promotion campaign for the Nepalese tourism, because of who love to cricket. That is a completely different type of people. Some people like the football, some people like the music. People have one choice, but who love that different sport, and then through the cricket, that is a big tourism promotion campaign. And I said always very thank you for the CAN as well, that who organized the Premier League, and then they are the brand ambassador for the Nepalese tourism. They promote the Nepal.
The rhinos, isn't it? Okay. The government itself commissioned you to bring that rock, isn't it? From Kalapathar.
those area is covered by the Sagarmatha National Park, and that time that Sagarmatha National Park, and they give permission for the can, and also that Nepal government also involved to that project, and they give permission. After that we fly helicopter and then landing in Kalapathar, and then we brought from rock from Kalapathar.
Another mountaineering season is already underway, is it? Or it starts from...
Already started.
Yeah, there is a brief window for that climb.
That especially for the Everest is main season, that April, May, but we need to prepare from March. And Annapurna, already people are starting to climbing because of the early season started.
Okay.
Some that normally summit time in March, April, but the other mountains supposed to be Everest in between May 10 to until May is summit window. And then now also tomorrow I'm planning to sending that fixing team for the Kanchenjunga, and the different mountain have the different time season, and supposed to be west side it's in springtime in normally big snowing. That supposed to be Manaslu is normally all the base camp covered by snow in spring season. But the autumn season is normally we see the lots of rock and a nice base camp, but the spring season we cannot see anything. And spring season normally east side of Nepal, it's good to be climbing. It's good season. And autumn season is the west side of Nepalese mountain, it's good to be climbing. And then that far west side is maybe in summer, even possible to climb in June, July.
So you are the chair of Sherpa Extreme Private Limited, isn't it?
Yes.
How is the business scenario this time around, now that the season has already started?
Yeah, mountaineering business in Nepal, that it's quite exciting. It's compared to 3 years before. Every year is more people interested to climbing high mountain. Supposed to be already since 2021, that numbers of international climbers, that more than 300 plus, and no 300 people. Yeah, and last year in Everest I think 400 plus, 424 I think in last year, and this year hopefully very close to the 500 people plus guide. That numbers of climbers is increasing, but the bad thing is number of guide is very decreasing. Is shortage guide, suppose a guide shortage.
How do you cope with this problem? There is this shortage of human resources with whole lot of climbers seeking greener pastures abroad. How do you curtail this drain? This brain drain, this human resources drain has been pervasive in every sector of Nepal. But how do you curtail? What measures do you suggest to curtail this drain of mountaineers, guides from Nepal's mountaineering sector?
The government need to be invest for the training, product the professional guide. Otherwise, until now that some of the organization organizing the mountain guide course, and supposed to be some of the trekking company even producing the by self guiding system, but that is not enough. That government should need to be invest money for the product new guide for the training. Otherwise, it's a long time back. Most of the climber, they are coming from the remote villages from close to the mountain, and those area are it's first generation, second generation. They are already climbing mountain. They are organizing the team. They are running the company, and those people are already who established in the city. They are most of those kind of people is not became the mountaineer. Mountaineer normally coming from the village. Most of the mountaineers supposed to be. I'm born in remote place in east side of Nepal called Taplejung. I born there, and when I go to the school, I need to work 1 hour and then back to home, work 1 hour. That means every day I'm working 2 hours normally, and then I became strong.
Yeah,
definitely, and physically. Yeah, and then that is not now. That is age of childhood, very young, and then that makes me the mountaineers. Otherwise, if I nowadays most of the is even close to the mountain. That vehicle goes to the close to the mountain all over the Nepal, almost covered by the road, and then people are not working hard nowadays, and then who love to easy life, they are not mountaineer.
Definitely, yeah. To become a mountain man, is quite difficult, isn't it? You have to trek for hours. You have to be physically fit, mentally fit, and whatnot. So we have come toward the end of this conversation. The government is just organizing Sagarmatha Samvad as part of its constant efforts to just bring attention to the adverse impact of climate change and the Himalayas in particular. What are your thoughts on this initiative, this global initiative on the part of Nepal, and how do you aim to contribute to it?
That is very important for the Nepal. Also, it's very interesting event for me as well, and that I'm very interested, and I'm always support to the event. But already I told the team, and that date was little bit wrong time. That event date is May 17, 18, 19, I think, and that most of the mountaineers are that time in that our Everest Summit window, climbing season. And I love to join that event. If I summit it in early May, definitely I'll join that event. But that is all depend on the weather. And also that Sagarmatha Samvad, its concept was amazing, and we need to support, and then also very interesting for all.
Any parting thoughts at the end of this long conversation? Long and engaging conversation, I would say.
I like to say only one thing. People are thinking about the mountaineering is very easy. Easy. Everest, everybody summited nowadays. That people summited. Those people summited. My friends summited. Now Everest is very easy, but not easy. I told about I mentioned about the already climate change, unpredictable weather. Before climbing, need to practice. And climbing mountain is not for the fun. Climbing mountain is understanding our limit, and we need to know my limit. And then if supposed to be hiring guide 2 people, 3 people, sometime nobody knows. That should need to be technical knowledge, and should need to be deciding point to supposed to be if you go to the somewhere and for the new thing, questioning yourself, and then that question makes whole night you cannot sleep. Why supposed to be Everest? If I give to say to tomorrow we need to go to Camp 2, and people are thinking about the 100 times are thinking what I wear, what I need, what I drink, what I need to tomorrow. Even simple things, and that makes weak. But if you did the training, if you climb 6,000 meter peak, 7,000 meter peak, and then 1,000 meter peak, then you understand what is mountaineering. But if you most of the people compare to the other people, and then people are thinking Everest is easy, and then let's go Everest, and people are thinking about nowadays lots of people are climbing Everest. Everest have a big track. That Everest track is if 20 minutes of snowing, that completely missing, but covered by the snow. That's why people need to be knowledge about the mountaineering, then only join the expedition for Everest, and then that is good for climbing community and also themselves as well.
Thank you, sir, for an enlightening conversation. It was great talking to you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you.